let's take a break from the serious side of Netrunner and look at the flavor text of Netrunner cards. Some of the flavor texts are absolutely hilarious, some are just pure gold. And today I'll look at Cloak and Dagger, the pair of programs from the Shaper faction. Just like Alpha and Omega, they come in a pair and their flavor text follows suit. Cloak's flavor text reads, "No line that they lay could catch a shadow on the wall." And Dagger follows with the second half of the verse, "And once the shadow rises, the curtain shall fall." Whether it's a poem or otherwise, it sure sounds very nice. However, having just realized that these were the flavor text on Cloak and Dagger just yesterday, a certain other Netrunner card came to mind. Can you think of what it is? A shadow on the wall, the curtain shall fall? How about that? Curtain wall. Yes, it seems almost purposeful, intended that they printed this card, Curtain Wall, after these Cloak and Dagger were released in Creation and Control. And furthermore, Curtain Wall has some extremely epic flavor text of its own. After the 3 end the run subroutines, there's a 4th subroutine, end the run. Just kidding. End the game. Just kidding. So good. Classic. Alright. But the similarity stops there, because it occurred to me that Cloak and Dagger are a pair that enables the breaking of high strength sentries. However, Curtain Wall is not a sentry at all. It is a barrier. So these cards don't fit together at all. Or do they? What if you take another card from the Shaper faction that allows you to use Dagger to break Curtain Wall? That's right. Tinkering. With 2 cloaks, a single dagger, and a tinkering, you are able to break through an outermost piece of Curtain Wall, which would have 10 strength. In fact, it almost seems like now, with tinkering, that this combo was made to break Curtain Wall for the least number of credits possible. Think about it. You need 5 credits to install 2 cloaks and a dagger. Using 2 cloaks, you get 2 recurring credits to boost the strength of Dagger to 10, after which you spend 3 more credits to break the 3 subroutines of Curtain Wall. Thus, your total cost of breaking a Curtain Wall for a single time would be 8. Of course, you will use up a tinkering in the process, but isn't that wonderful? Is it coincidental that Cloak and Dagger is such a powerful combination with tinkering against Curtain Wall? Well, let's look at other ways in which you can break Curtain Wall as the outermost piece of ice. To start things off, there's the very obvious Corroder, which everyone uses nowadays. Corroder costs only 2 to install, but to break through Curtain Wall would cost you a very hefty 11 credits. Definitely not something you want to do. In comparison, using the other fractor that is available in the Anarch faction, Morningstar, you can actually break through Curtain Wall for just 1 credit, so long as you get Morningstar to match the strength of Curtain Wall. You can do so by installing Bishop, Ice Carver, and Dinosaurus hosting the Morningstar. The only drawback of that is that it costs 16 credits to set up this entire rig just to break that Curtain Wall for 1 credit. Not very worth it. I mean, it's worth it in the long run, but, well, after that you just want to use Emergency Shutdown instead. And then there is Breach, which is an upcoming central-only icebreaker in the Criminal faction. Coincidentally enough, Breach seems to also be made for breaking Curtain Wall. It costs only 2 to install, just like Corroder, except that it breaks a tank strength Curtain Wall for 6 credits. You pump it twice to increase its strength by 4 each time, and then pay 2 credits to break up to 3 barrier subroutines. And Curtain Wall has exactly 3 subroutines. Well, unless you want to break the end the game subroutine as well, but that doesn't count. So, yes, it costs only 8 to break Curtain Wall with Breach, which is the same as the amount you use for 2 cloaks, a dagger, and a tinkering. However, Breach can do it in 1 turn, whereas you need 4 turns to set up the entire Cloak and Dagger rig. Of course, the drawback to Breach is that it can only be used on central servers. So until now, Cloak plus Dagger plus Tinkering remains the cheapest solution to break Curtain Wall unconditionally with the least number of credits. There's a fourth possible solution, and this is by far the cheapest solution, which is to abuse Data Sucker and use the cheapest barrier breaker possible in the entire world, which is Inti. You install just a single Data Sucker for 1 credit and run on unprotected central server, typically archives. This will give you 9 Data Sucker tokens to play with, which will reduce Curtain's wall strength down to 1, at which point Inti will do the job. And then you break 3 subroutines for 3 credits with Inti. That will cost you a total of 4. Of course, running a single central server 9 times just to get 9 tokens on Data Sucker is completely unfeasible. So, when it comes down to it, perhaps the Cloak, Dagger, and Tinkering combo really is the most effective solution. Out of everything we've seen, is the only one that from a standing start with no rig whatsoever, you are able to set up a combo that can break through a single curtain wall once, outermost curtain wall once, without any restrictions, without any conditions whatsoever. It doesn't have to be on a central server. You do not need a central server that is unprotected at all to get 9 Data Sucker tokens on. It is just a very cheap way to solve a 10 strength barrier. So, yes, this is very interesting for thought that these cards that are thematically linked in terms of their flavor text can actually turn out to be a very effective solution in the real game too. Of course, whether you are willing to spend an entire Tinkering just to break through a curtain wall a single time, that's up to you. Thanks for watching. I hope this has been an enjoyable video. Bye.